Salve discipuli. This is Help for Your Latin Studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise number 250. In this exercise, we are translating sentences from Latin to English, and it also asks us to explain the case of the italicized words. So each of the sentences contains one or more italicized words, and it really wants you to think about why that word is in its particular case. So let's look at number 1. Multi homines in Italiam veniunt ut Romam videant. Okay, so the ut is a dead giveaway to me that this sentence contains a main clause and a purpose clause separated by that little word ut, which may be translated something like that he, she, it, they may do such and such, or in order to, or to, just the word to. So this, everything before it then is the main clause, and everything after it is the subordinate clause. And you may remember that if the main clause verb is a primary tense, present, future, or future perfect, then the subordinate clause must be present subjunctive in a purpose clause. Okay, let's take it one clause at a time, and we'll look at the first one first. Multi homines in Italiam veniunt. So we recognize multi as an adjective, a quantity adjective, which is likely describing this noun, homines, which is our subject. And then our verb is almost always going to be found at the end of the clause. And you probably recognize this little word in as a preposition. And it's an interesting preposition because it might take the accusative and it might take the ablative, depending on what that preposition is communicating. Is it communicating something stationary, or is it communicating something in motion or some sense of movement? If it's communicating a sense of movement, then it would take the accusative. And if it's communicating something stationary, then it would take the ablative. So we'll have to look closer at its object, the object of the preposition Italiam, and this ending, whether it's accusative or ablative, will help us understand what this preposition communicates. But let's go back now to our subject, homines. This is obviously going to be nominative case. And this ending, ace, for this third declension noun, homo homines, if we think through the third declension noun endings, various is em, so it's not singular. Ace, ibis, ace, ibis, it is plural. And since it means man, it is masculine by natural gender rule. And then this adjective, remember, adjectives must agree with the noun that they modify in gender, number, and case. So looking at this adjective multi, this is an adjective of the first and second declension. So its ending may not match, given that the noun is a third declension noun, but it should agree in gender, number, and case. So let's think about that ending. If it's an adjective of the first and second declension, and it's masculine, we would start with multus, and then to make it nominative plural, we would apply the nominative plural ending of the second declension. Us, e, o, and then e, indeed, is nominative plural and masculine. So we're saying many men. And since it's a quantity adjective, it comes before the noun that it modifies. Okay, so we have that. Many men let's say what they do. We'll go to our verb, veniunt. In English, we would go subject, verb, sometimes a prepositional phrase, but let's go ahead and look at that verb veniunt in the glossary here. Oh, here it is. Venio, venire, veni, ventum, venio, venire, veni, ventum is a fourth conjugation verb meaning come. And that ending, iunt, the IU, okay, the NT tells me it's third person plural, so I'll put that down. The IU connecting vowel is not subjunctive in the fourth conjugation. That would be IA. So if we turn back a page, that's perfect tense. Turn back 2 pages. Here's your active voice, indicative mood, present tense, fourth conjugation, and indeed the third person plural connecting vowel is IU. So this is simply third person plural, present tense, active voice, indicative mood. So it's going to say, many men come, they come, right? In the present tense. In Italiam, let's look at our noun Italiam. This is from the vocabulary Italia, Italiae. It's a first declension noun. And so thinking about the endings, I, am, that would be an accusative ending and singular. And since it's in the accusative case, this preposition is going to express movement. So many men come into Italy. There's our main clause, ut, in order to, or we might just simply say to, or we might say that they may. So then we have our subordinate clause here, Romam videant. Romam has the ending am, which looks again like an accusative ending. And indeed, if we think about that, Roma, Romai, I am again. So it's accusative and singular. This is our direct object. And then our verb, videant, again, checking which conjugation family. Video is a second conjugation verb. Video, videre, vidi, visus means to see. Okay. So, NT tells me third person plural. The EA connecting vowel of a second conjugation verb is subjunctive. And that makes sense with our sentence because remember, if our main clause has a primary tense, then our subordinate clause will have a present subjunctive verb. Okay, so this is present, but it's subjunctive, which means that we might translate that as like that I may, or that they may, in order to, kind of goes with that ut statement. To see, right? In order to see Rome. Many men come into Italy in order to see Rome. I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a great day.